Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. What's going on, guys? I'm going to grab something real quick and I'll be right back. What's up, everyone? All right, we are back. I'm going to pour myself some water real quick. Beautiful scent of the days, guys. My scent of the day was a layering combo of... I comboed two fragrances. What were they? I layered Acqua di Gio Armani, Eau de Parfum, and dang, I don't know what else I comboed. I comboed something with ADG. I forget. I wish I could say it snowed in Arizona. I mean, if you're willing to drive, it can snow in Arizona. But more often than not, it is hot as hell here. Dang, what did I pair with Acqua di Gio? Now it's going to hurt my head. What did I pair with it? Doggone it. I don't know what I paired with it. I paired something with ADG today. You'll just have to take my word for it. Have you smelled Gucci Guilty Love? If so, what age and occasion do you think it fits? I have not smelled that. Is that a new fragrance? I got Fraghead's Asylum in today. Amazing recommendation, bro. Top 3 of my collection. Hey, man, listen to me. I don't lie. That thing is spot on with Elysium, has great performance, and extremely versatile. And it's not like a normal freshie, like just plain citruses on woods or citrus aquatic. It's a citrus basket, and that vetiver and amber in the base makes it more sophisticated than your average Dolce & Gabbana light blue or something like that. It's way more expensive smelling than that. And for the price, bottle presentation, it's absolutely phenomenal. So claps for Shamil. He did the right thing. Thank you, Jig. Appreciate you, man. I have a 14 fragrance haul coming in. Yikes. You sound like me. What should I get in my next collection? I currently have Eros Flame, Stronger With You. Speaking of which, before I get into answering that question, I did rate your fragrance collection part 2. So we did 10 viewers from the channel, and that will be up probably in the next day or two. Eros Flame, Stronger With You, and Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue. So you have a fresh fragrance, a playful fragrance, and an intimate fragrance. How old are you? Skib, how old are you? Yeah, I know how it is, SoCal. What's your favorite layer combo right now? I don't have a favorite layer combo, but there's a lot. How about my favorite layering fragrances right now? Encre Noir a la Extreme. I don't know why that jacked up. Let me know if my mic's still working, guys. Encre Noir à la Extreme is an amazing layering fragrance. Lalique White, amazing layering fragrance. Woody Oud, amazing layering fragrance. We've been working with some great combos lately. I'm actually making a Combo 101 book that's coming out soon. What's the difference between 9 p.m. and 9 p.m. Rebel? 9 p.m.'s better. Still good. Thank you, Joel. What do you think about imitation fragrances? I have an Eros Flame replica. Imitations can be good. Imitations can be trash. So you have Eros Flame, Armani, and Light Blue. Honestly, I would put Fraghead's Asylum in your lineup. I would put Club de Nuit Intense Woman in your lineup. Actually, instead of that one, go Zara Man. Zara Man from Fragrance World. And Fraghead's Asylum needs to be added to your collection for sure. Oh, Skibbity's 14. I'm going to be honest. Original Eros EDT would be great in your collection. Way more versatile than Flame. This would be an incredible addition to your fragrance collection. Lalique White and Black. This basically is like Instant Crush and Leighton in one. Smells very niche. Good date night, but very fresh fragrance. A lot better and more versatile than Stronger With You. Have you smelled Replica in the spring? Yeah. It's okay. It's not worth the money. Springtime in a park is not worth the money. Get a clone or don't get it at all. Not worth the money. I have this right here from Replica. So I've gone through quite a bit of Replica fragrances. Not a fan of most of them. Hey man, I'm looking for some ideas on an everyday wear fragrance. Some of the best everyday wears. Versace Eros, EDT. Bentley Momentum Unlimited. That's going to cover your metallic citrus. Eros is going to cover your slightly sweet romantic, but super fresh. I would say it's like combining Bleu de Chanel with more vanilla. Everyday wear as well. Lalique White. Very good everyday wear. Lalique White. You want some cheapies, you can go Banana Republic's Metal Rain. Great everyday wear. You want another Banana Republic, go 78 Vintage Green. Great everyday wear. We got a lot of everyday bangers, to be honest with you. Valentino Uomo Intense, Prada Luna Rossa Ocean. Yeah, Bleu de Chanel. Some of the greatest everyday wears. Thoughts on the House of Spades Full House? Well, Spades Full House is not a house. House of Spades. You mean Game of Spades? Full House is okay. Give it a 7 or 8 out of 10. What's the best Tom Ford fragrance? Probably Noir Extreme. Noir Extreme, Oud Wood, Grey Vetiver, Black Orchid. What up, Fendi? Out the shower, rocking Missoni Wave, feeling super fresh. How's it going, SB and Frag fam? What up, Henry? F Fabulous has a prominent leather note. Yeah, I think they label it as suede though. Yeah, the Effing Fabulous is a great fragrance, but you can't clone it. All the clones of Effing Fabulous are effing terrible. So you have to get the original. The clones absolutely suck. Give me 1 second, guys. Okay, I'm back. Why does everyone like Dior Sauvage? To me, it just smells straight up bad. Well, you might be a young guy. If you're 25 and up, the fragrance is pretty solid. If you're 25 and down, it might just be a little too masculine for you. What happened? I used the restroom. Sauvage EDT to me is a banger. It is. What would you recommend? Yeah, I don't like red tobacco. I think Prada Luna Rosa Le Parfum red bottle top is a lot better smelling in the same DNA as red tobacco. I'd really like to get Mancera's Oud Lemon Mint. It's pretty solid. I'd give it like a 8 or 8 out of 10. A better citrus fragrance is Vetiver Sensual, which I give like a 9 or a 10 out of 10. Oud Lemon Mint is like a 8, maybe a 9. French Riviera is okay. I give it about an 8. It's probably like in the top 10 best Manceras. French Riviera is like somewhere 8, 9, or 10. Safest Parfum de Marly is Sedley. My personal favorite is Carlisle. I also like Leighton and Pegasus. I'm not the biggest fan of Parsival, Herod. Kix is sending me Galloway right now, but I think those are more of your mature ones. The classics to me is Leighton Exclusive, Pegasus, Sedley, and Carlisle. Carlisle's my favorite. Sedley's the most versatile. The others are just great. Wajan is very slept on as well. Wajan is my third best Parfum de Marly. Does Aqua de Gio Parfum smell like? What does Aqua de Gio Parfum? Marine aquatic, so citrus, vetiver, slight patchouli, aquamarine notes. It's pretty solid, but I'm going to be honest, even Sacrat is better than Aqua de Gio Parfum because it's Profumo, and Profumo's the best DNA out of the whole ADG lineup. Not feeling Spice Bomb Dark Leather. Me either. It smells good, but it's very generic and it's very not long lasting. The performance on Dark Leather is terrible. It is an excuse for a fragrance. I wouldn't really call it a mess. It's just too generic and it falls apart. What would Vetiver Sensual be your favorite Mancera frag? It's tied between Jardin Exclusive, Pearl, Vetiver Sensual, and Instant Crush. But Vetiver Sensual is at least in my top 2. How often will a house release a new frag? Oh, there's no rule of thumb. Some fragrances, you never know. Some, they try to come out with one once a year. Some every couple of years. More commonly every couple of years. But yeah, there's no rule of thumb for when a house decides to build a new frag. A lot of times, houses will take one frag and then every year release a different edition. They'll go EDT or EDC, then EDP, Parfum, Extrait / Absolute / Elixir / Intense, you know. So if they have follow-ups like that, they might do one every year or two until they finish the line, and then they'll take a couple of years and move on, and then they'll mix that up with bringing some back. You know, who knows? Sometimes you don't get a remix until way later. Like we recently just got Burberry Hero Parfum, and Burberry Hero's been out forever. So no rhyme or reason. Do you save your boxes? No. The only time I save a box is if I'm going to use that box to send out fragrances to other people. I don't save boxes at all. I need the space in my house. The new Forever Wanted, I'm worried about the raspberry notes. Forever Wanted is okay. I like the Most Wanted Parfum, and I like Wanted by Night Parfum. Vetiver Sensual is amazing. It doesn't really matter where it ranks in the Mancera line. It is a must-have Mancera. What is the worst niche fragrance? Too many to count. Too many to count. Carolina Herrera Bad Boy Extreme. It's okay. I prefer Cobalt. Cobalt's really nice. How should I store my frags? Safely. What else y'all got for me, man? This is a short stream tonight, guys. We're going to be signing off soon. Just wanted to get on and say what's up to the people. Did you ever try Macalef Gin Tonic? I have not, Dejo. How's it smell? Dang, I really want to remember what the heck I wore today. I wore Aqua de Gio EDP with something. I just don't know what I layered it with. I'm so mad. Best budget fragrances. Well, all clones are budget, in my opinion. So if we're talking designer, Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Eau Intense, Mont Blanc Starwalker, Nautica Voyage, Mont Blanc Presence, Mont Blanc Explorer, Anything from Lalique, anything from Bentley, minus, not Azure, minus Silver Lake, anything from Mercedes-Benz, virtually, Ferragamo red leather, bright leather, Uomo signature, and F black. All those, $30 and under, amazing. For every unique smelling frag, next, what is the most unique none you've ever tried? I don't understand that question. Unique fragrances, Amir Celestial, very unique. Mineral, suede, violet leaf. Black Orchid DNA from Zara Man. Black Orchid, cacao, patchouli, amazing. Musk Therapy, unique. Gray Vetiver, easily unique. Lalique White, Lalique Pour Homme, Oud Satin Mood, African Leather, Lin Sumi, Ombre Noir, all very unique frags. What's up, Manav? You were on Rate My Fragrance. SoCal, you were on Rate My Fragrance. Episode coming out soon. I'm 14 in my collection right now. Jigaboo, you are also on Rate My Fragrance. So we rated your collection as well. What's a good blue frag in the YSLY EDP direction, but more unique? Probably Ferragamo's Aqua de Essencial. Beautiful blue. I'm 14 in my collection right now. I have 9 PM Whiskey Reserve, Bath & Body Works, Versace Dylan Blue. What would be a good next buy? Jigaboo, tune in to Let Me Rate Your Fragrance Collection Part 2, and you'll see my recommendations for your collection. Gray Vetiver Parfum is nice, but I personally like the top of the fragrance of the EDP better than the Parfum. The Parfum smells richer, but it's quieter, and Gray Vetiver needs to be a louder fragrance to me. It's too quiet. So even though Parfum has a richer, denser formula, EDP's louder in the opening and in the top. So I'm loading myself up with the EDP over the Parfum any day of the week. Most fragrance snobs and connoisseurs say the Parfum is better, but if you look at anybody that wears Tom Ford Gray Vetiver, everybody has the EDP because it's better. What fragrances pull fine girls? Halloween Man Shot. Halloween Man Shot. Instant Crush. Lalique White and Black. Black Orchid. Versace Eros. Club de Nuit Pre-Show 1. Musk Therapy. Anything YSL Tuxedo. If we go in the designer category, Bleu de Chanel, Jean-Paul Gaultier Le Male Elixir, Gucci Guilty Elixir, YSL Y, YSL L'Homme, La Nuit de L'Homme, YSL Tuxedo, Tom Ford Noir Extreme, Spice Bomb Extreme, Spice Bomb Infrared, all those pull chicks. 1 million, oh yeah, 1 million Elixir, 1 million Royal, 1 million Lucky, all those pull chicks. Paco Rabanne's Phantom pulls chicks. Anything Bubble Gummy, Prada Luna Rosa Ocean, Valentino Uomo Intense, all that stuff. Pulls plenty of women. If you like fresh blue, Tarathi Blue, can't go wrong. One of my favorites. It is decent. It is decent. To me, the Elysium DNA is better than Tygar and Imagination combined, so I would go with Fraghead's Asylum. To me, it's not exactly a blue, but it gives you the same hit as blue. It's more sophisticated, more expensive smelling, and a lot more versatile. Question, got a bottle of Sauvage EDT for Christmas. Was at an Ulta yesterday for another frag and tried the tester for Sauvage EDT. It smelled really different. Any idea? Possibly maceration. Possibly you didn't truly get the same fragrance. Probably more of a maceration issue combined with the fact that if you're in an Ulta Beauty or a Sephora, there's a lot of fragrance already in the air. So you're likely not truly smelling Sauvage EDT. You're likely smelling Sauvage plus a medley of a billion fragrances everybody's sprayed in the air already. Evening frag heads. What's up, Greenlee? I have 1 million Royal Decant on my Mercari. Red Tobacco and Intense Cafe as well. What are some good fresh dailies? Fresh dailies, Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Intense, Acqua di Essenziale from Ferragamo, Bleu de Chanel, Dylan Blue, Mont Blanc Legend Spirit, Acqua di Gio, Profondo, Profumo, and EDT, Lalique White, Mont Blanc Presence, Nautica Voyage, Tarathi Blue, all that stuff. Great everydays. For FOMO Fragheads Asylum, Chanel Allure Sport. What websites are best to buy from? FragranceBuy.ca. Always. Chanel Allure Extreme. It's not a bad fragrance, but I prefer Chanel Allure Sport. More interesting to me. What other questions y'all got for me, man? Throw them at me. Let's talk fragrance. What's your thoughts on YSL YEDP? Best to worst fragrances from YSL. YSL L'Homme, YSL La Nuit de l'Homme, YSL Tuxedo, YSL Y, YSL Myself. In that order. The entire YSL line is good, but it goes from excellent to okay. Myself being okay, L'Homme excellent, La Nuit de l'Homme excellent, Tuxedo excellent, YSL Y pretty freaking good, YSL Myself okay. What do you think about Neroli Portofino? Extremely average, not worth the high ticket price. Smells good, but doesn't smell $150, $200 good. I need fresh frags only, my favorite category. We just went over like 20 fresh fragrances. What does Halloween Man Shot smell like? Halloween Man Shot, I would say, is on par with Jean-Paul Gaultier Le Male Elixir, which is tobacco, honey, cinnamon, vanilla, but a lot smoother than Spice Bomb Extreme. So it's way more seductive. It's got a fresh element to it, kind of like a Eros or like Prada Luna Rosa Ocean. So picture Le Male Elixir, little bit more fresher, watery, and no bite on the tobacco note. It's just smooth, sweet, little bit of spice, fresh, beautiful fragrance. It's seductive for date night, as the bottle would suggest. I don't know if you guys noticed this, but all the seductive fragrances have a black and gold bottle for some reason. But this is extremely amazing for date night, but you can also rock it as an everyday wear, and it'll have a similar fresh yet sweet DNA like Eros, but it's nothing like Eros. It's only like Eros in that it's fresh, but also sweet. But one of the best date night fragrances of all time. It's hard to find this, but if you can, for like 30, 35 bucks, you can get 120 ml or 125 ml, and it's absolutely awesome. If you can't find that fragrance, you can always find this fragrance, which is a super solid backup, Odyssey Homme Black Edition, which smells like a combination of Tom Ford Noir Extreme, Spice Bomb Extreme, and Spice Bomb Infrared, all in one fresh fragrance that has 8+ hours of performance for $25. What is the most overpriced fragrance? Most niche. What is your favorite fresh LV fragrance and their budget clones? I think Imagination is the most popular, and for that, I would go with Ardal Zafran's Sahib Intense. L'Immensité is a bit challenging for people because it's a little bit more sour. Meteor is nice. Pacific Chill is nice. Ombre Nomad is nice, but it's a little more challenging. Every LV fragrance is essentially citrus on woods or exotic citrus on aquatic. So I think Sahib Intense covers all of them. Do you have Armani Eau de Cidre? No, I don't. Is Latafa Assad a good date night fragrance for a teen? No, it is not. A better date night fragrance for a teenager is going to be Jean-Paul Gaultier Le Male Elixir, Le Beau, Paradise Garden, Halloween Man Shot, Versace Eros EDT, Lalique White and Black, which is essentially a clone of Leighton from Parfums de Marly, Armaf Peugeot 1, great for date night, but this is a little too old for you. Shoot, this Teriyaki Intense is pretty solid too. Heavy on the cinnamon though, but man, it is a sweet killer for teens. So I would go with it personally. But to be honest, I think a teenager can never go wrong with Versace Eros EDT. It fits every occasion, but it's also extremely seductive. Most complimented fragrance by women of all ages. L'Immensité has an Aqua di Gio vibe. Yeah, but it's more sour and more zesty. It's less aquatic. Have you tried Polo 67? I have, and it is solid. Give it a 7 or 8 out of 10. Bleu de Chanel is still good, yes, but it's more classy than seductive. Eros beats Bleu de Chanel in the seduction category, but Bleu de Chanel beats Eros in the classy, expensive category. So he asked for a date night fragrance, Eros. If he was asking me for the best fresh fragrance in the designer category, Bleu de Chanel. But Eros can go both ways. Bleu de Chanel cannot. You'll get friend-zoned wearing Bleu de Chanel. What fragrance should I get with a $120 budget? I would consider Mancera. Mancera is the easiest way to get into niche and only having to spend about $70 to $100, and they've got bangers. Pearl's a banger. Jardin Exclusive is a banger. Instant Crush is a banger. Mancera Cedrat Boisé Intense is a banger. Vetiver Sensual is a banger. Red Tobacco is a banger, though it's not for me. I don't like it, so I don't recommend it. But Instant Crush, Cedrat Boisé Intense, Jardin Exclusive, Pearl, Oud Lemon Mint, the vanilla one is good. Amberful might be top 2 best Manceras out there. I might go something like this. Vetiver Sensual, Amberful, Jardin Exclusive, Pearl, Cedrat Boisé Intense, and then probably Oud Lemon Mint or the vanilla or the Amour Cafe, something like that on the bottom. Kicks, what up? Scent of the day, Tabac. He trying to get them draws. What is your thoughts about Ombre Leather? Ombre Leather is great. One of the best leather fragrances of all time. I'm not a fan of the new Ombre Leather, but the old one I really like. I typically like to jazz it up a bit, so I go with Off Non-Rare Carbon, and I throw La Nuit de l'Homme or L'Homme on top of it, and it smells just like Ombre Leather, but better to me. But yeah, Off Non-Rare Carbon is somewhere between Tuscan Leather and Ombre Leather, but if you want to jazz it up, you have to throw L'Homme or La Nuit de l'Homme on top of it. You can do a bunch of different leather combinations. You know, you can go heavy on the raspberry. You can even go with the dark cherry. You can go citrus, get more of a Ferragamo bright leather feel. You can go more tuxedo vibes, go vanilla, cinnamon, tobacco on top. But me personally, I like to stay traditional to Ombre Leather, and I go L'Homme on a 2 or 3 to 1 ratio on top of Off Non-Rare Carbon. And to me, you get a fragrance that has a much better projection than Ombre Leather. But Ombre Leather is a killer. I would never disrespect it. Odyssey Homme Black or Halloween Man Shot? Halloween Man shot every day of the week. Do you have Bohemian Lime? No, but I've put my nose to it. It's pretty nice. Bleu de Chanel office professional environment. Yeah, it'll work, but to me, Bleu de Chanel's got a little too much projection for my taste in the office, but I think I'm a minority in that opinion. Bleu de Chanel is a any season, any reason, any occasion fragrance, but I typically like my office fragrances to not have more than 1 to 2 feet of projection. I want you to walk by me and turn your head, not see me from a distance and have me already figured out. What frag would you recommend for a 39-year-old man for work? I prefer fresh, spicy fragrances. Well, if you were talking to Kix, he would say Parfums de Marly Galloway. If you were talking to me as of today, I would say Lalique White is a beautiful option for you. You've got the spice that you're looking for, more on the pepper side, cardamom, tamarind, white pepper or Szechuan pepper. You've got citruses, you've got vetiver. It's extremely bright. It smells just like the word Lalique White, but it has fougere elements while still smelling extremely modern and not extremely vintage old school fougere. So spices, citrus, vetiver, it warms up. It's beautiful. It's versatile. The projection isn't extremely loud for the office. You're going to have about 2 to 3 feet of projection. It's highly sophisticated and unique, but Kix would tell you, and I'll confirm that as far as my perspective, probably around next week. But he would say, if you like this, upgrade to Galloway from Parfums de Marly. I trust his judgment regardless. So if you want a more niche fragrance, step up to Galloway. If you want a very affordable, niche smelling fragrance, probably more entry-level niche, but Lalique White is going to be an extremely good banger for the office. I really want to buy Instant Crush. I've gotten a tester and I love it, but I don't have that type of money. What should I do? If you want Instant Crush but don't want to spend the money, even though this goes in the direction of Layton, to me, Layton and Instant Crush do the same thing and have the same textural elements by being a playful, candied, sweet, fresh fragrance. Instant Crush has a little bit better performance than this, but it doesn't matter. For 30 bucks, if you're trying to save money and you can't spend the 70 bucks on Instant Crush, you want to go Lalique White in Black, and you will absolutely scratch your Instant Crush itch. And it is a phenomenal date night, playful, fun, fresh fragrance that is extremely signature for a teenager and a young 20s type of fella. Mancera French Riviera is exquisite too. It's okay, but on the hierarchy of best to worst, French Riviera is on the bottom for me, which isn't a bad thing because Mancera is beautiful. In your opinion, is it fine if I'm still using Jean-Paul Gaultier's Le Male? I'm 29 years old, still getting compliments. If you're still getting compliments, rock that thing. He said, got him. Odyssey Ohm or Halloween Man shot. Told you. Halloween Man shot. What's the difference? The difference is Odyssey Ohm Black is fresher and spicier. Halloween Shot is smoother and sweeter, but both are seductive. What's a good frag for going and getting lunch during school? It's a weird way to think of fragrance. I actually don't have an answer for you. Thoughts on Rebellion by Gritty? I don't know. I haven't put my nose to it. Layton is more masculine and medicinal. I don't like that description of Layton. I'm going to be honest with you. When people say medicinal, I don't think that that accurately portrays what's going on in that fragrance. It does have a cherry chapstick vibe, so the only way that I get medicinal is like the tiniest bit of mentholic, but it's so tiny that it's almost not even worth mentioning. This is a sweet, playful, slightly seductive, date-esque winter fall fragrance that, because it's so fresh, can go any season, any reason, as long as you're indoors or it's nighttime. I say that Layton smells like expensive cherry chapstick. But the reason I like Lalique White and Black better is because you get the exact same DNA, but because it's fresher, it has less of a cherry chapstick vibe, but it still takes you there. So I wouldn't really use the word medicinal with this fragrance at all. But to each his own, and there is some aspect of truth in it, so I don't want to disregard how you feel about it. What's your top 3 frags right now in your collection? I don't have a top 3 frags, but what I've really been enjoying this week is African Leather, Vetiver Sensual, Bulgari Man in Black, Zara Man, and my Gray Vetiver. Been really enjoying those. Jupe Homme is really annoying, but have you tried the Parfum version? Curious to know what that is. People speak well of it. I'm going to be honest. People who think Jupe is a great fragrance are typically over the age of 40. So that's not a good or a bad thing. It's just important for you to know. A lot of times when we talk about Nautica Voyage and we talk about Drakkar, even though they're not even on the same playing field, but just anything old, a lot of times people refer to older fragrances for nostalgia. Like for back then, it was ahead of its time. But you got to also remember a lot of these fragrances are 30 plus years old. They just simply don't compete. They more create nostalgia and vibe, but they don't have as much dimension as fragrances can potentially have today. So you got to almost take it with a grain of salt. Today, going to a Jupe level DNA would be somebody trying to catch an old vibe or somebody just trying to enjoy the old school. It'd be the equivalent of sitting your kids down and watching an old Lion King movie or something. It's a great movie, but you compare it to something like Super Mario Brothers today or a Pixar film or something like that, it just doesn't hit the same unless you lived during that time and tried the fragrance during that time. If you never smelt it before, you go back and you're like, whoa, this is like super dated, not my tea, and not my culture of familiarity. Is Paradise Garden worth the price? I would say yes, but it's not my tea. Last question. Are Detour Noir and Detour Exclusive accurate clones of Layton and Layton Exclusive? They are close enough to be worth buying, but I still feel like Lalique White and Black is the best Layton DNA, even more than the actual Layton. So because of that, I think Lalique White and Black kills Detour Noir. However, in FragCom, if you look up a Google search or a YouTube search of best Layton clone, Detour Noir and Detour Noir Exclusive always come up as the #1 option. So you either trust my nose or you trust the general populace on that. But to me, you get a much more niche quality and even a better DNA than Layton itself because it's fresher with this fragrance right here. You might not get the 10 plus hours of performance, but you at least get 4 to 6. And the only reason you get less performance is because it's a little bit fresher. But to me, that's okay. I will gladly accept that trade-off. Spice Bomb Extreme versus Jean-Paul Gaultier Le Male Elixir and where to wear it. Both are date night frags, and both I think are exclusive to date night and winter vibes. I wouldn't really say one is more versatile than the other. Le Male Elixir is smoother with a bit of edginess from the tobacco, but overall it's a smoother fragrance. Spice Bomb Extreme is spicier, spritzier, edgier, heavier. It's like a heavier and spicier fragrance. Le Male Elixir is a smoother with slight rough edges, but both are date night seductive fragrances. So I might tend to wear Spice Bomb Extreme if I was outdoors and I need a fragrance to really push. But if I was indoors, I'd want the smoother, more seductive fragrance. But I think outside, Le Male Elixir stays more of a lingering fragrance and not a push fragrance. So if I'm in a place or like a big environment where I need a fragrance to really push and do damage, I might go Spice Bomb as a route. Anonymous, your mom told you over an hour ago to get in bed. So please listen to your mother and father. Jean-Paul Gaultier Le Male Elixir has a powdery, fresh, spicy element to it. Yes, but less spicy than Spice Bomb. I heard there is a new Spice Bomb Metallic Musk. Ooh. When I think Metallic Musk, I think Bentley Unlimited Intense. Bentley Momentum Unlimited. This is my go-to easy dumb reach metallic right now. To me, it beats Silver Mountain Water. It beats Sillage. It beats Mahir Legacy Silver. You know, Off Non-Supremacy in Heaven. Any metallic fragrance right now, I think it absolutely kind of curb stomps it. A little more beautiful handling of metallics. What else y'all got for me before I let y'all go? Absolutely, Djo. I can't answer that, Jig. I think other YouTube videos will give you some better info than me on how to wear your fragrance. Wearing Narciso Rodriguez Blue Noir Parfum for the first time, I'm in. Hey, that fragrance is spectacular. You want to upgrade a little bit? Go 8 and Bob Egypt. Yeah. 8 and Bob Egypt is the next evolution of Narciso Rodriguez, in my opinion. Slightly different DNAs. One is Iris Powder Blue, and one is Iris Oak Moss Powder Expensive. Spice Bomb Extreme worth the pickup? I think so. You can't go wrong with Spice Bomb Extreme, ever. But in my opinion, I personally like original Tom Ford Noir EDT and Noir Extreme more than Spice Bomb. It smells a little bit more fancy. Spice Bomb Extreme feels a little teeny bopperish, but it's still an amazing fragrance. Bleu de Chanel EDT or EDP? I lean towards the EDP for performance. EDT is going to have a louder projection, but you're going to suffer at the hands of performance. What's up, Fragrance Reviews? What's poppin'? Good to see you, brother. Appreciate you as always, Scent Bubble. Appreciate you too, SoCal. I have an interesting one in case someone who is not a frag head, just looking for one perfume collection. What is the one perfume a person can make do for all seasons? Could be top 5 frags. Listen, you guys don't like me for this answer, and I don't care. I don't even wear this frag a lot, but I do have a lot of wearing experience with it for the sake of reviews. Top 5 most versatile, heavily complimented by the opposite sex. Any season, any reason. It's almost like taking Bleu de Chanel and sprinkling a buttery vanilla into it. Put this in your top 5 if you are starting out. If you're into niche and all that stuff, then you need to move on. But if you're not just a straight niche head and you mostly mess around with designer and inspirations and curations, this is a must-have top 5. Why? Because it is battle tested. Date night killer, fresh killer, seasonal, any season, any reason killer. Dress it up, dress it down. It can do anything except be super formal. And even then, if you wore it formally, no one's going to hate you. Listen to me, guys. As a vanillic fragrance, it beats out the entire Jean-Paul Gaultier line, the entire 1 Million line, the entire Phantom line with one foul swoop. Why? Because it gives you seduction, yet it's somehow amazingly fresh and classy like a Bleu de Chanel. None of those sweet fragrances I named can double and spin the block as an everyday wear. They just can't. They're too dense in the vanilla. They don't dress up the back of it with classy sophistication. This fragrance does, and for that I have to give it ultimate respect. A lot of people would say Bleu de Chanel and Eros are on the same playing field, and in many ways they are. But you cannot take Bleu de Chanel and go to date night. You will get friend zoned. Bleu de Chanel is an everyday, dumb reach, any season, any reason, classy, fresh, earthy fragrance. However, it falls short in the date night category because there is no allure. You're basically trying to score the chick off of expensive classiness. That ain't gonna do it. You need something that gives her a reason to put her face in your coat and sit there for Netflix and chill and hopefully a little bit of extra. Bleu de Chanel could do that, but it wouldn't really come from Bleu de Chanel. It would be more your own game doing that. Eros will do a lot of that groundwork for you because it is both fresh and seductive. It might be a little less classy than Bleu de Chanel, so it's a plus and minuses give and take. But if you want to talk the most versatile fragrance for multi-occasion, Eros EDT. You're talking to a guy that does not wear this fragrance. I've worn it plenty of times because I have such a high respect for it and because so many people enjoy it, and because if I'm going to talk about it, I need to have intimate wearing experience with it. But this is not my pick in my fragrance journey. However, I constantly come back to it to remind myself of why everybody loves it. And so I can deeply talk about why I think it has a slight edge on most designer fragrances. Believe it or not, this has an edge over all of Jean Paul Gaultier. The only fragrance designer that I think that meets this where it is and takes it somewhere else, although they don't have one fragrance to me that does it in the same versatility as Eros, is Givenchy. You know, if you're messing with Gentleman Society or Gentleman Reserve Privé or Gentleman Boisé or any of those, now we're talking. However, those typically, Givenchy fragrances either go supreme class or supreme seduction. They rarely kind of mix it up. It's just more that people love the line so much, they try to use the fragrance both ways. But in terms of true versatility, this just has the edge as the most well-rounded fragrance, even though there's fragrances in the Givenchy line that I think are much better than Eros. They're much less versatile. All right, I'm going to answer a couple more questions, then I'm going to sign off. Can you do Versace Dylan Blue or Versace Pour Homme for every day, any season, plus their price is decent? I think Versace Pour Homme is extremely regular. I think Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue is extremely regular. I think Mont Blanc Legend Spirit is extremely regular. Dylan Blue has an edge on those as being a little bit more elevated, maybe a two-dimensional fragrance versus a one-dimensional fragrance. However, in the world of fragrance, Dylan Blue is extremely generic. Kix just sent me Ferragamo's Blue or Aqua Essential. Much better than all those. Same price. So give it a shot. Very blue, but very fresh. I mean, it's almost like take Mont Blanc Legend Spirit Blue, have a baby with Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Intense, then have another baby with Halloween Man EDT, and you have Aqua Essential. What's a good frag that has some lavender and vanilla? Jean Paul Gaultier Le Male Elixir. It is vanilla, spices, tobacco, honey, and lavender. In fact, Lattafa's Kingdom, I believe, has the exact same thing. What's your favorite summer fragrance? I do not have a favorite. It's impossible with 4 tiers of fragrance to have a favorite. Yeah, Eros is the best. Mint in the opening is great. Yes, it is. I only like Iris, like Dior Homme Intense. Okay, then go with 8 and Bob Egypt. And you'll see that there's levels to this. And I am the biggest Dior Homme Intense fanboy of all time. I have all of them. I have the old Dior Homme Intense. I have the new Dior Homme Intense. I have the old Dior Homme Parfum. I have the new Dior Homme Parfum. I have Dior Homme Cologne. I have Dior Homme Sport. I have Gary's Den. I have Cayenne Classic. I have Camaro Homme Intense. I have Privé's Illusion Intense. I am a Iris fanboy. However, go to 8 and Bob Egypt. Go to Narciso Rodriguez Blue Noir. And you will see that there's just different levels. Now, Dior is better than Narciso by a little bit. But 8 and Bob, I feel, trumps it all. Eight and Bob Egypt. EIGHT and BOB space Egypt. Any last minute questions before I let y'all go, man? Flood the chat. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure if you're new to the channel, we drop content every single day. Multiples. I just did a new episode of Let Me Rate Your Fragrance Collection. So if any of you guys want me to do a deep dive and check out your fragrance collection, make some recommendations and give it a rating, send your pictures to scentbubblesubmit@gmail.com. Again, scentbubblesubmit@gmail.com. Thanks, Jigaboo. Appreciate you, man. I'm glad you're learning. We're all learning. I learn every time I go live. Can we include decants? Absolutely. You can include anything in the picture. Anything that has to include fragrance. All right, guys, listen. This is the Scent Bubble. We have a lot of stuff on the way. We've done some Chanel exclusive line. We've got some more Mind Games. We've got some new Parfums de Marly, Lafayette Street, Greenlee. I think we already posted Sutton Leather. We've got a bunch of decants from Kicks. We've got a bunch of sample sets we're diving into. I think Greenlee even sent some fragrances. We've got a bunch of people sending fragrances. So many people are helping to send me fragrances to put my nose to that I'm now going to stop giving out my address and I'm going to start giving out a P.O. box so that you guys can send fragrances to be reviewed and stuff like that. And also because I'm going to be sending out decants and everything, we're also doing a giveaway of some fragrances real soon here. So I really appreciate everybody that is jumping on and being a part of the community. I am about to shake the ground of FragCom with innovative things that I have yet to see in the community. And I'm making sure that I'm rolling it out proper and doing my due diligence to make sure that it really will have as much impact as I think it should. So stay tuned for the journey. I'm making everybody be a part of it. And I thank you guys so much. Last question of the day is going to be from CMP. Thoughts about Mont Blanc Explorer? It's extremely average to me. If you don't have a lot of fragrances, Mont Blanc Explorer seems legendary and like amazing. 9 out of 10 maybe. But as you start to collect more and more fragrances, that fragrance becomes very simple, very generic, good to wear, but not great to wear. So take it with a grain of salt. If you're early in your fragrance journey, Explorer will do something for you, but it's on a clock because as you add fragrances to your collection, you will quickly find that fragrance to be quite basic. Anyways, this is the Scent Bubble. I hope you guys have a blessed week. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If I didn't answer any questions that you had, please copy paste your questions into the comments section of this video when it posts, and I will answer them in a 24-hour time period many times sooner. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Hope y'all have a blessed week, and I really appreciate all you guys for tuning in and listening, even people who don't really post in the chat and stuff. I'm all for anyone that wants to hang out and hear all the different stuff that we share about our experiences with fragrance. Love y'all, man. Y'all have a wonderful Saturday night. And until next time, peace.